Okay, today the flip lesson is going to be a continuation of what we started on yesterday and what we worked on today in class. We're going to go a little bit farther with our lesson, and today our major problem that we're going to be solving is 30 times 60. Now, we're going to be looking at three different ways of solving. We're basically going to be doing three components. One is going to be conceptual. Do you understand the concept behind why these patterns work the way they are? The next is going to be fluency. Can you multiply these big numbers fast, fluently, and correctly? And then the third thing is going to be application with word problems. So we're going to work on conception first. So we are going to show what 30 times 60 looks like. So when we do that, we're going to think, okay, what is 30 times 60? Well, 30 is 3 tens, right? That's just another way of saying 30. It's 3 tens. So I'm going to draw 3 tens in my chart. Now, how many times am I going to have those 3 tens? I'm going to have them 60 times, right? Well, we're going to break apart that 60 to make it easier to understand. We're going to take 60 and we're going to write it in 6 times 10. Do you see that? 6 times 10 is the same as 60. Basically, we've just taken it and we pulled it apart. So, how many times do I have those 3 tens? I have these parentheses here. So I'm going to multiply those 3 tens 6 times. So I'm going to have them 6 times. So there's 1 time. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have 3 tens going across 6 times. Do you see that? It's an array, which we know it makes 18. So now I have 18 tens, right? But I'm not finished because what have I not done? I have not multiplied that times 10. Well, you know, but based on everything that we've learned, that the number to the left is 10 times more. So all I have to do is take those 18 and put it over here, and that automatically knows that I'm multiplying it times 10. So instead of having 18 tens, I have 18 hundreds. What does 18 hundreds look like? Well, it looks like 18 with how many zeros would be the hundreds? How many zeros are in hundreds too? So it's 1,800 or 1800s. It's the same. Now, let's look at this next model. Let's look at 30 times 6 times 10. Okay, so we're going to use this one down here, and we're going to draw the model this way. I'm just going to keep using the place value chart for this because I think it's easier to use the place value chart. So we know we have ones here, tens, hundreds, right? I don't think we're going to need thousands, so we're going to leave it there. Now, this 30 is how many tens? How many tens is in 30? Right, 3. So we're going to draw our 3 tens right there. Now we have 3 tens how many times? Well, we're going to have 3 tens 6 times 10 times. That's just what it's telling us, right? So basically, I can multiply those 3 tens times 10. Okay, so I've just drawn 3 tens, and I've moved it over because I'm doing that times 10. Remember, anything times 10, we move over. So now we have 3 tens over here. How many times am I going to do that? I'm going to do it 6 different times. So here's another 3 tens. I'm going to move it over here, right? I'm going to continue doing that 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I can throw another one right there. 6, which will make me have 3 groups of 18, right? I'm sorry, 3 groups of 6, which make 18. So it gives me 1800s again. 1800s. It's the same exact number, just in a different way. So you can look at it any way you want. Now, basically, what is my basic fact? Let's look right here. My basic fact, and this is off my screen so you can't see it, it's 3 tens times 6 tens. So what's 3 tens times 6 tens? So what's 3 times 6, right? 3 times 6 is 18, right? But it's tens. So I'm going to have a 0 for each of the tens that I've multiplied. I did not multiply 1 10, I actually multiplied 2, so I need 2 zeros. So your answer is 1,800. All right, let's move on to the next problem. Okay, number 3, here we are. We have to draw a model to represent 20 times 20. Okay, So before we look at that, let's look at some different ways we can break up 20 times 20. We can say 2 tens times 2 tens, right? Which equals 4, right? 2 times 2 is equal 4, right? But for what? Is it going to be 4 tens? Well, let's think about that for a minute. If we have 2 tens, it's going to be in our tens column. Those would be our ones, right? And we're going to have 2 tens. Let's write this down. And we're going to multiply those 2 tens times 2. We're going to do it 2, right? Because that's what 20 is. It's times 2. And then we're going to multiply that times 10. Think of it that way, right? Well, we're going to have that 2 more times, right? So we have 2 tens times another 2 tens. That's 4 tens. Then we're going to take that whole group and move it over to the hundreds column, right? So that gives us 4 hundreds. Not 4 tens, but 4 hundreds. So our basic fact is 2 times 2 is 4. Count our zeros, 1, 2. Our answer is 400. All right, I think you're ready to do number 4 on your own. So you're going to press pause now. Do number 4 on your own. When you're finished with number 4, which we'll go over in class, hit play again, and then I'm going to show you what to do with number 5, 6, 7, and 8. We are now moving on to fluency. We're going to rewrite each equation in unit form and solve. Okay, so here we go. We have 5 tens times 2 tens is our basic fact, right? What's 5 times 2? 10. That's going to make 10 hundreds because 10 times 10 is 100. So now, 5 tens times 2 tens is 10. Count our zeros, 1, 2, 1, 2. The answer is 1,000. 1,000 is the same as 10 hundreds. That was pretty fast. Let's do number 7. Okay, so basic fact. We have 6 tens times 2 tens. Well, 6 times 2 equals 12. 12 what? Remember, tens times 10, 10 times 10 is 100. So it's 12 hundreds. All right, now, what would that look like in standard form? Let's do it up here. 6 times 2 is 12. Count our zeros. 1, 2, 1, 2. Your answer is 1,200. Now you're going to go and do number 6 and 8 on your own. When you're finished with that, hit play again and we'll work on the application part of our homework. Okay, number 9 is our first application problem. We're going to do number 9 together and then you're going to do number 10 on your own. So let's go back and let's learn how to read and write what we write over our words to show how we're going to show our work. So there are 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. How many seconds are in 1 hour? So if we're going to write over that, let's make sure I have a black pen color. We're going to say 60 seconds. Oh, I'm having a hard time making this pen work. 60 seconds in 1 minute, right? And 60 minutes in 1 hour, or in an hour, right? So basically, if you know if there's this in one and then this in another, that means we're going to have to multiply, right? Times 60. 60 times 60. So how many seconds are in 1 hour? All right, so let's go ahead and do that down here. What is 60 times 60? Well, we can do this conceptually or we can do it fluently. I think I'm ready for fluently. So what's 6 times 6? It's 12. How many zeros do I need? 1, 2. The answer is 1,200. How can we rename that? We can say that's 12 hundreds. 1,200 what? 1,200 seconds in 1 hour. I wonder how many seconds are in 2 hours. I wonder how many seconds are in 24 hours. I wonder if you can answer that question for me tomorrow. All right, I want you to go back to number 10 on your own. go ahead and do that. Be able to come to class and share those answers that we did not go over in this lesson with your classmates tomorrow. And hopefully you will be ready to rock and roll with this, getting some different problems tomorrow in class.